Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome to another line battle here, courtesy of Napoleonic Wars. Gloriousness it is, and it is the 4Es midweek event. So, let's see what's going on, shall we? And have a look at the teams. You can see the 1st Brigade, the 56E are in there. You can see the 4E in their various regiments, the 2E, the 45th, and the 11E in there as well. The 9E, oh goodness me, what a great turnout. You've got the GI2E in there, the 1st Brigade we think we've seen. And oh my heavens, look at all that. The 2E Fusilier Grenadiers. Oh, look at that. The 7E Hussars as well. Hussar indeed. And on the opposing side, it is the Empire of France versus the Russians. Yeah. Hello. And we have the 9E, the 10E, the 41E, and the 3E are in there as well. And many, many other people. And, oh my goodness, somebody's dead already. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So, here you can see the Hussars, Recruit Trias, in with his teammates, and they are making their way across the snowy plains as a cannonball intercepts Atos. Fantastic stuff from the 4E artillery. And I think he's supposed to fire the cannonballs rather than catch them with his face. Oh, hello, look at that, a return into the 1st Brigade 56E, and also another return into the artillery as well. Glorious stuff coming in from both sides. Dirty Dave from the 41st. And up the front, Lieutenant Conway leading the lads forward. Who's Taylor and Charlie there. Ronan D25. Soldat of the 41st. So, and they're snaking around, trying to find the best position available here. We're in with the 9th Fusiliers. As more cannonballs from Azuki taking down Odie. 123. Or it could be Foodie. So, Captain Nanny of the 9th. Look at this fellow. Doesn't he look wonderful? And up the front here, there's Ezifav. And who's the officer leading? Colonel JBB 28. From the 10E. Now, what's this fellow doing over here? It's Nathan Allgreen of the 3ER. The cannon reports in the background, and you can see the cannon position here, along with our old friend, Mr. Two-Dimensional Bird. So we're moving in on the cannon position. Get an idea of their setup. You can see fine engineering work, fine cannonball catching with faces for the Russian cannoneers. There's Atarik, and engineering work being done by Felix Lapin of the 1ECF. Now, who's this over here helping? Captain Eric of the Hussars sniffing around as cannonballs bounce right next to Ladislas. And who's doing the engineering here? Mr. Pesty of the 10E 4th Artillery. Fine engineering work. Aggressive engineering we heartily approve. And you can see in the centre of the screen their opposing force as the cannonballs whistle in the general direction. You can see the marks on the ground, but we're going to go over and find out what's up on the hill over here. What could be going on? Well, mostly it appears to be some of these fellows from the 11th hiding behind rocks. Now, the French appear in the form of the 4E2E here to be sneaking up, possibly on the artillery. And there, yeah, so odd wind. Oh, down goes Julian. Poor Julian, sniped off with a cannonball. And Soldat Husky and Azuki also finished off as well. The cannons claiming many victims today. Great shooting by the gentleman. And here the 45th, Soldat Pontonnier. And here's Atlas from the 56th. Now, you can see these guys start to move out. And there, more cannonball murdering is occurring. And here you can see the lights and the skirmishers keeping their open formation and trying to engage the artillery at distance. And there's not many people left. The cannonballs being fired in their general direction. The engineering work. Felix Lapin, focused, taking bullet hits, but still remaining to bring up those earthworks. Provide as much defences as he can. This is going to be the problem. Look at this. The time is ticking. The loading is occurring. The French are approaching. The pulse is quickening. The cannon is firing. And people are dying. And they managed to sneak it right between a lot of them there. And now you can see the French lining up with the 56. Oh, the commentator's curse does it again for poor Biggie. Never mind. So we move over to the 5E, is Sacre. And here is Colonel Napo. Well, precisely, of the 5E. And you can see him moving up to support the boys. Getting in a little bit further, as you can see the 2E and the 7th Hussars taking casualties out here in the field. Look at these boys fighting for their lives. Hussar on Hussar action. This gentleman here, Sukeza, has lost a horse. And of course you can see here Hawk as well. Minus Horsey. And you can see up in the edges of this particular area, the 5E continuing to support their cavalry friends. So, Christmas finished off. And Fluky also, what a great name. Murdered horribly out there in the field. So, Chapal. Fusilier Axel Chapal. Look at these guys. And at the back, Corporal Stavros. And Joe Cobra, Grenadier on the drums. And Morpheus in with the flag. So there is David Fawcett, Colonel of the 2E. And you can see them passing by the 4E 45th. Corporal Exeter and the lads. Oh, goodness me, it's about to kick off. Look at that. The 11E run into a little bit of an ambush. And here you can see the 3ER trying to escape with as many people as they can. Code word, Coda QWERTY. Fantastic name. Fusilier Jake of the 9E. And you can see them dodging those bullets. As the 2E, and down goes another. As the Russians taking fire as they move up the hill. The French breaking and attacking. Etienne from the 2nd. And Shepard as well getting involved. Valentin also, look at this. Taking on Ezifav, Sergeant Major of the 16th. Look at this. He's trying to fake him out. He's trying to do it. Look at that. Is he going to turn and attack? He does. But now you can see him starting to try and circle around. He's going to get stabbed in the bottom soon at this rate. As you can see, the battle's continuing on the hill. Not much going on, as you can see. The odd murder in terms of goes in for a quick kick. And it costs him his life. So, yeah, as you can see, not much going on. Nothing to see. Move on. So, Etienne taking down the enemy. And look at that. Glenn coming in. And Joe Cobra with a nice team kill. So, the Russians, let's have a look at the numbers. 6 versus 33. Oh, dear God. The Russians are in deep doo-doo right now. And it's getting deeper by the minute. What's going on over here? And there's Clausewitz. There was Clausewitz. Oh, look at that. He forced a team kill onto Etienne. And down goes Clausewitz. So, Heidzeich is the last man standing. And he's murdered. And we move on to the next round. Well, here we are back with the next round. And we're at the Russian camp. I use the word camp advisedly. And you can see all the guys getting set up. Christmas there, deciding to get his rocks off. After all, Christmas is over, so why not have some fun? Here's Suzuki with the old artillery cotton bud. There's Felix Lapin, engineer of note. And here you can see the artillery train from Ladislas and artilleryman Alex getting ready to set up. So, Alex taking cover behind a big bulbous rock. Cadet Louis of the 2nd out in the field. Flag leading the way. Look at that, held by Morpheus, with David Fawcett, the Colonel, following in closely behind. Now, let's see. Oh my goodness, Cartman's dead. Here is Spark Fram and Big Geek and Leo Bass, Smarties, Landfoust, L.A. Colleen. There's L.A. Colleen again. Ecombre, Pontonnier, and Exeter. So, the 45th. Oh dear. David Fawcett, Colonel of the 2nd, currently having a lie down. And look at that. They've decided to move back, go in the opposite direction. But now you can see the members of the 56th is Dareback. There's SPCZ. Snowflake. There's Peter. Mammoth. Hassan. Oh, the commentator's curse strikes again. A fine shot by Atos from the artillery. And here you can see Lieutenant Colonel Black of the 56th. Looking for that all-important information to give him an idea where the enemy is going to be, so he can position his lads ready to do the maximum damage possible. So Gargi and the lads getting ready, steeling themselves for the next action that is to occur. So, here's Blue Fire of the 2nd, and you can see this long extended line, our jet. And there's Quenu. Is that how I'd say it? Quenu? Or Quenui? Anyway, either way, he's a major in the 2nd. And so, yes, as members of the Vieille Garde have said, my pronunciation of French names caused them physical pain. So, nothing new there. Lieutenant Colonel Agofan of the 56th, supported on his right side by the cavalry of the 7th Hussars. There's Elwee waiting. Commanding Officer Brigadier Wolf on the hill. Using the spyglass to check to see what's going on. What's a boot, so to speak. So, let's see if we can find out what these boys here are planning. It is the 56th, with Lieutenant Colonel Black looking to maybe take some pot shots at the enemy. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of enemy. And understandably so, they have decided to retreat to an area of safer ground. Look at that. French forces moving up on the right-hand side. Joe Cobra and Morpheus. Now, literally, you can see the French continuing to fall back as the Russians get aggressive and push even further forward into the French territory. You can see these guys making use of the hill cover and forming... Oh, wow. Holy crap. Look at this. Literally, a small army is hiding behind the hills on this map. There we go. There's Captain Nanny. Oh, my goodness. Conway taken down by Drakensdark from the 9th Artillery. Fine shot with the cannonball. And so Nanny using the most ineffective pistol in the history of the universe. Hoping to get a shot. You never know. It has happened. Stranger things have occurred. So, now, let's see. As you can see here, Raphael of the 9th. Trying to pick a target. Have a sniff around. Oh my heavens, it's the Hussars from the 4th. Now let's see what the 4th Hussars are up to. Galloping around, as is their wont, under the command of Captain Eric. And you can see they're now also supported by the 3R. 3ER, I should say. Now, let's see. What's going on here? As you can see, the 11th making their way up. There's Soljat Titty 77. And Lahouche. And Maxence. And they've run into the French. And the 4E, 2E are defending themselves. Trying to make as spiky a hedgehog defense as they possibly can. But it doesn't work out for some like Kronos. Taken down with a fine shot from Raphael of the 9th. Now they about face and move back, and this is where the problem's going to lie for them. The 3ER are moving up closer. You've got the 9th in there as well. Captain Nanny and the boys are pushing back even further, forcing the French to pull back as more cannonballs take out the enemy. Look at this. The French casualties are littering the battlefield right now. Combinations of dead horses, dead people, cannonballs. It's a massacre for the French right now. 68 versus 66, so it's not too bad now. 64. Oh heavens, and in come the cavalry as well to try and take out the line troops. The line troops defend themselves for all their worth, you can see. Trying to make as spiky a defense as they possibly can with those 17-inch bayonets. Doing the damage. As you can see, some of the Hussars falling. There they are, back to back, they faced each other. Drew their swords and shot each other. That's a rhyme I remember from when I was a kid. I can't even remember all of it, but for some reason I do remember that. Strange, surrealistic rhyming. Anyway, Nathan Allgreen of the 3rd EJ. You can see them here. The Hussars taking some damage from the 2E and the 11E and the 45th and the 2E. Fantastic stuff coming in from these guys. And Abu Bakr, invitational to the 4E, 2E. Oh, look out. It's an ambush. Oh, what a fine response. And he goes in for the final murderization. And you can see as well, Draken's Dark doing pretty good. 7 kills, 0 deaths. Godly cannonball work there. Good stuff indeed. As Lieutenant Colonel Black is shot out in the field. Here's Lieutenant General Stefan. And you can see now here. Got the metal plating on. If he's lucky, it'll stop a bullet. If he's not so lucky, it won't. So, following the tricolor, or possibly not, the Imperial Eagle is left in place as the Agofan, Lieutenant Colonel of the 56th, moves up. And you can see this is their quarry. Chasing in behind Mr. Only German, a reserve of the 9th. And now they're going to form a line. Look at this. The line's forming. Are they going to find? No, they want to move immediately to get into a better position. The 3ER, look at this. Out goes the fire from these guys as they move into that position, and the fire taking down multiple members of the enemy forces, and down. Down goes one of the enemy. Look at that. Finished off, and they've break and then attack. Move in to try and cover as many of the defenders as possible. Abu Bakr fighting for his life. In comes Chris Christmas to take down the tinsel. Get rid of the Christmas pudding. And a nice murderization occurring here. Going in for the Frenchman. Look at this. Defending himself against 2 people. Who is it? Oh, it's Abu Bakr. And he is finished off. As Recruit Triers is following in behind Stefan. Or Stefan, even. So. It looks like this gentleman, Raphael, Fusilier of the 9th. And there's the all charge. You can see now Raphael currently running backwards while pointing a very large prick at the enemy. That 17-inch bayonet. Telling him to keep his distance. You've also now got this guy sneaking up behind him. It's Munich. Is going after Owind. ESO of the 2E. Oh, fine. Stab, sir, until he's finally stabbed in the bottom. And poor old Coda QWERTY gets team killed. And what's going on here? It's Fusilier floor. And who's this man defending himself? It's Peter of the 56 and a kill. Look at that. The turning stabs coming in from Peter. And is he in danger of being multiply diddled? He was multiply diddled by Russians. And here, the one remaining member of the French army. Artilleryman Koos. Or Koos. Here he comes over the hill. There is what remains of the Russian army. And he's ready for a punch-up. Words of encouragement did him little good. And we're on to the next round. Well, this time we've changed it up and we're over by the French camp. The standard headbangers, of course. Tom King, 159. And there is Sergeant Snowflake with the tricolour. Nanton in there from the 56th. And they're getting everybody ready, organised into all their various locations. Blitzgag just there. There we go. Invitation OK, who seems to be asleep. And the 4E, 2E. Look at these fine fellows. There's spam at the end. And listen to that. The cannons already deployed and firing their deadly charge already. Look at that. Under the command of Minata, but really under the command of Sergeant Florent. So, you also got this gentleman, Kuriyakahime, from the artillery of the 9th. And doesn't she look lovely? And away goes the cannonball. So you can see them reloading, ramming it home with the rammer, and then firing the cannonball at the enemy. And it's all about getting that aim, getting the right number of bounces. That all-important kill. Kill. Oh my goodness, there's fifing. Here he is, from the 9th Artillery. Ragon Dinmange. Keeping the hopes and the morale of the French as high as possible as we're looking at Garriga here from the 3rd. Now, here we go. There's Pedro Magno. And there's a team kill with a pistol. Colonel Napo executing one of the enemy. Oh, looks like one of his own team. No doubt due to insubordination. Well, he can't insubord if he's dead. So there is that, I suppose. Landfust, recruit of the 45th, moving out with the rest of his regiment. At the front, there's Adjutant Saxon, keeping his line focused. That fine handlebar moustache on the man. And now it's just a matter of waiting. Waiting to get commands from the main commanding officer. Decide which direction they're going to push. And now you can see these fellows here from the 11E making their way over this direction. There's Sergeant Cease. And there's Wellington. And there's Lahouche. And Mr. Siret. Oh, Mr. Secret, sorry. Read that wrong. And there is Corporal Pony. So, oh, Cannonball kills already from Dragon Dark. Lovely stuff indeed. What's going on over here? Well, here you can see the Hussars. Waiting for the off, waiting. Oh, heavens. That was rather nice. What happened there? Well, obviously loads of people got shot in the face, but... Aha! It must be a defensive position here of the 5th to try and offer some support to the artillery. Unfortunately, the opposing team's artillery offered their support as well. It didn't go as they would have preferred, but never mind. We'll gloss over the details and move on. As the 5E move out to link up with the likes of the 3ER and also the 9th. We're looking at Munich. And over on the far flank, it's Coda QWERTY from the 9E. And on the far end, Raphael. So, let's see what goes on, shall we? Still pretty equal. The odd person being cut down. The 45th, Colonel Papu, now starting to pull back as additional forces move in from the GI 2nd. Whoops-a-daisy. Quennui is no more. Sergeant Snowflake picks up his gun and then picks up the colours and moves back to the line. So, the 45th waiting there, working together with the 56th. And you can see some of these guys taking casualties. Look at that, see what I mean? Good shooting coming in from the 9th. And melee is occurring up here on the hill as the 11th, Mr. Secret, is fighting for his life. As now they come under attack by hussars. There's nothing to hussar about in this case. And now, oh goodness me, the French line just got absolutely jumped. Oh, that's brutal. Very nasty indeed. Let's see who those were predominantly. Ah, there we go, the 56th from the 1st Brigade. And now he's defending himself. This is Gargi. Oh no, we've lost Spam. Spam has been sliced. Oh dear. So now you can see the numbers reforming, regrouping, getting the ammunition that they need, finishing off the enemy. We're looking at Gamelfar. Not anymore, we're not. So here you can see the lights engaging at distance as these guys push the Russians back even further. De Grasse of the 5th. You can see him defending himself from the French attacks in both directions. He's got to be careful. But Thibault is there to support him. Oh, look at that, Etienne. With a nice duck inside the enemy's bayonet thrust. Oh, fine stab, sir. Into Grasse. De Grasse is down. His teammate, Cool, got killed in front of him. And look at this. Now we can get on the end of the line with other Frenchmen and support his teammate. So now the French line starts to move out. The Russians move up even further. Coda QWERTY is getting ready for a bit of serious melee fun. Oh yes, the stabby goodness is about to begin. Let's just see. Oh, there we go. Somebody's slayed for ficking. That's firing in the charge, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to fick up like that, or you will be fecked. Now, QWERTY currently cheesing it in the opposite direction. There's Sibo Cleaner and Wellington. Look at this, now fighting for his life. Let's see how the old nosy gets on, shall we? Oh, fine stab, sir. A good start to the day for Wellington. And the day's over. Oh, dear. Never mind, eh? So, 47 remain alive versus 3 from the Russians. Now, I think it's fair to say this is the remaining 3 Russians. Remaining 2 Russians. And look at that, forcing the team kill. But in come the reinforcements as the Russians... Oh, goodness, look at this. As Captain Nanny is the last man standing. And he falls eventually to Valentin. And we are back at the spawn of the Russians. As you can see, The artillery train with, of course, there's Zach, 34 Kaz, basically about to get a horse's head, or horse's butt shoved up his head, or I should say get his head shoved up a horse's butt, but either way, it's not going to be a pleasant experience, probably less so for Zach than it is for the horse, but, you know, what can you say? So, oh dear, Lefranc, reserve of the artillery, fine drumming, sir. I do remember the attack done on one of my line battles that I casted, where they all hid in there and then just suddenly burst out of them with like 20 people. It was fantastic. Never seen it before since. So, let's see. As the cannoneers get set up, there's Kuz, who's in the process of engineering. There's Zach, and here you can see Drakendark, the mass murderer, with the cannonball. And there we go. He now then checks through the spyglass to see how his aim is. Or possibly not. No, there we go. There's the spyglass look. So, Florence taking down Mr. Pest. And a nice team kill in there as well. So, here's Captain Nanny of the 9th, with the boys spread out in their light skirmisher formation. Seabow Cleaner. And there's a little bit of team killing going on there. Here is Cadet You know when you've been tangoed. So, let's see if we can find out what's going on as we move over to the second. You can see here Star Wars and David Fawcett, the Colonel. Look at that fine braiding. Doesn't he look handsome? Fantastic stuff. There we go. A shout of defiance by the French forces. The Hussars getting closer. Supported by a fine line in the middle. Cadet Sniper of the 3ER. And it's looking a little bit dishevelled right now. But it's understandable. There's Pedro Magno. And obviously Sarsaur in there. Seems to be somewhat overdressed for the line, but never mind. Let's wait and see what happens. As you've got these fine fellows making their way up from the second. And there's David. With that determined look on his face. Now he pulls the guys back, looking for the next opportunity. And it looks like some of that opportunity has occurred out there in the field. Oh, goodness me. It looks like the 7th Hussars are getting into a punch-up. Here we go. Look at this in the centre. Who are they up against? It's the 16th. Members of the 10th Brigade. You can see them defending themselves from the onslaught of the cavalry. Got to make sure they don't get barged to the floor. And watch those long sabre swings coming in from the cavalry. God, that was close. He could have been sliced across the back. But now the support comes in. Light forces. It looks like Floor's just taken a little bit of a hit. And Recruit Lurvy definitely took a hit. As the 41st come in. Support the enemy, or support against the enemy. Recruit Wellington currently hiding behind a rock. Right next to Mr. Secret. And they're taking this opportunity to reload as quickly as they can. There's over on the right here, there's Husky and Pony and Titty 77. Now looking, look at that, fine shot by Husky. As these guys are more forced, the French, to flee. Oh, heavens! The 2E being taken down multiple. Look at that. Zach Boom 133. Recruit of the 41st seems to be lost out in the field. Has lost his friends. Now, let's see. Who are these fellows? The second. Oh, look at that. Cast Maximus is taken out. And Mr. Frodon, and down goes Shepherd as well. The fire coming in, doing damage to these fellows in the second. As he can say, Leberchil. And there's Quenui. Arjet. Valentin. And here is Eli, 45. And David is getting involved with a bit of stabby goodness. Look at that. The Russian is still not dead. Keeps killing Frenchmen. And so they've now finally survived. They're going to watch out. They're supported by Hussars. And they're also now supported by the 41st Lieutenant Conway, leading the boys forward. So, numbers 55 versus 60. So, for the first time in a little while, the French have a very slight numerical advantage. But that extra firepower could become very important over time. And hello, artillery Fort Derp has been built by Coos of the 9th Artillery. And the engineering has come to a sudden sword-related end. And now the fort is being taken apart slowly as the French are attacking from all sides, forcing a team kill on the poor old Major Quenouille. And there's Hawk and the Hussars now buggering off to a safer location. As David Fawcett and the second follow in, and you can see also members of the 4E Hussars getting involved as well. As per the rules, once they lose their horse, they've got to get in on the back of an existing line. Now, who are these fellows? This is the 3ER. And there is Nathan Algren, commander. So, what's going on over here? Oh dear, Corporal Glenn with a bit of horse abuse. Oh god, he's getting awfully close to that butt. He's punching him in the butt. That's just not right. Admin abuse, admin abuse. And Mr. Only German. You can see the other members of the French forces moving closer to their enemy, trying to track down their quarry. Got to get some stone out of it. And this looks like them. Miniata from the 4th, 9th. And Snowflake is no more. He has melted. Courtesy of a fine shot from Munich. Oh, this may not be good. Grey 2's. Well, Grey 2 needs to get out of there. The captain of the 56th needs to run as fast as his little legs will carry him. There's Koneko. And K-Motors 007 as Nick Cole manages to kill a friend. And here is Nanton from the 56th, holding onto the flag as members of the 5E here moving in behind to support the right flank. And it's all kicking off over the top of the hill. In come some of the recently dismounted Hussars and French army. This could... Ouch! Ouch! Yeah, that was kind of predictable. Wasn't really a charge per se. More of a mass suicide run. But never mind. So, the flag, the tricolour, the Imperial Eagle is still held, I should say, by Sukesa. And we look at numbers, 43 versus 20. So, this time the French have the advantage. This time, it's going to be a better situation for them. The question is whether or not they can turn that into a win of this round. As near you can see the 41st moving ever closer to the Russians. The Russian flag continuing to flee under the control of Nanton. You've got Ada over here as well, an Ago fan. And look at this, the French come pouring in to attack. Fusilier Danny, oh, he's got the cotton bud. He's going to clean out your ears as Fluky falls in battle. And look at this. Oh, fine stab, sir, on Sarsaw. And he misses the shot. But we're waiting to see what happens. As now, there's a bit of a punch-up going on. What is going on? Dirty Dave living up to his name. Look at this. And there we go. Dirty Dave finishing off Conquer All of the 9E. And there we go. A few remaining people. And a little bit of team killing right at the end. Trimming out the chaff, so to speak. The dead wood. And if they weren't dead before, they certainly are now. So, let's have a look. One member of the Russian army remains alive, but not anymore. So, here we are on the next round. And, funnily enough, it's snow. It was snow on the previous round, and the round before that, and the round before that. Although, I have to say, I'm not seeing sort of very big snow clouds. And I have to say, I'm not seeing a lot of melting. Don't think much of the meteorology reports here. Still lots of snow. Although this kind of looks a bit more like icing. Or possibly a very bad toupee. Difficult to tell. So. Or maybe it's just an entire family of bald people wearing wigs. Anyway. Our friend, the two-dimensional bird, continues to watch the battle. You can see on the right here, artillery getting set up, with a line getting set up behind them, supporting, ready for the off. As Valentin of the 2E accidentally trips over his laces and stabs himself in the testicles. For unfortunately falling off the server. And there is Luan, or Luaran. I would say Luaran of the 4E9E. And now you can see him checking through the spyglass. Look at that breastplate he's wearing. Pistol tucked in his belt. Doesn't he look handsome? Fine beardage from that gentleman. And random surrendering even. Oh God, someone's stuck in a horse's butt. It was Zach again. What is it with Zach and horses' butts? But anyway, look at this engineering work. Fine engineering work coming in from Kuro Yukihime. Look at that. He's getting that very important earthenworks up to intercept the cannonballs. Try and stop any kind of damage being done. And also give something for people to hide behind later on. So you can see now. He's going to move out. What's he going to do? Is he going to build an artillery fort derp? We'll have to wait and see. As Raphael gets shot down. Oh, goodness! It's a cavalry ambush! Look at this. This is good stuff coming in as Alexis is in as well. Here is Kaneko defending himself from the attacks. Or defending herself. And doesn't she look lovely today? Oh, look at that. Kaneko. Oh, sliced. And managed to avoid the slice. Went into the horse. And now this is a desperate situation for Kaneko. Or Kaneko. Look at this. Defending herself with basically a needle on a stick. And she's down. Our poor girl has fallen. As we're looking at Delavane from the 11th. Moving up in open formation with other members of the 11th. The skirmisher formation we are familiar with. Lahouche. Volunteer of the 11th. So. Let's see what's going on. See if we can lock in on the combat that is occurring. The mass murdering that is always part of Napoleonic Wars. As we look at the 41st. The Trezzy and there. Lieutenant Conway. And these guys getting into a stand-up fight further on. Up and engaging the enemy at close range is the 3rd. They're always up there in the middle of all the punch-ups. Brave souls. And here is Pyrex, currently making the most of the tactical advice available to it, and currently legging it. Oh, look at that, a parting teabag. Oh, look at that. Now he's literally all on his own. So, the parting. The gift over here. We'll have to wait and see. They pause. That's the 11th. With Recruit Wellington in there as well. Make the most of an opportunity to pop a reload in. And there you go. Look at that. Major Quenuru. Or Quenuli. God, I'm so bad at pronunciation of French. Ho, Nelly. Down. And, of course, the inevitable teabagging that is literally the staple of Napoleonic Wars. Rather than offer their sympathies for the fact they've just died horribly in battle, their first thought is to thrust their genitals into the face of the recently deceased friends. But, you know, people need a hobby, I guess. So, here is Bordel. And also with him, there's Quen. There's Bluefire. And there's Star Wars. Now moving up. Axel Chapal. The Fusilier. And down goes Captain Eric of the Hussars. And a team kill going in from Drakendark into Junior. Oh, heavens, it's all going pear-shaped now, boys and girls. Let's look at this battle going on. Adjutant Saxon defending himself with the saber. Look at that fine block. Goes in for another attack. Oh, block again. And a block again. Oh, block back and forth. Oh, this is fantastic play here. Now Saxon gets a supporter, but he gets finished off. And the blocking continues. Saxon with some beautiful block work there. Managing to defend himself. Didn't manage to get in for the stab on the enemy, but managed to block all the enemy's attacks. So fine murdering attempt there by Saxon. And Corporal Glenn of the 9th. Look at that. As soon as they turn around, he turns around back to attack. Are they all going to turn around and attack him? Yep, they are. This is going to go back and forward all day. See what I mean? Look. Look, they're literally going to attack. And then he's going to turn around and they're going to attack. And then he's going to turn around and they're going to attack. So, yeah, make it... Oh, heavens. And look. Over here. And there we go. Husky will have no more of that crap. Killed to death. So, let's see. Atteric from the first. Standing there. Felix Lapin. The Corporal. Cartman loading. Support from Mr. Pesty. And here, Ladislas. All quiet. And listen to that. Over the other side of the hill, you hear the sound of murdering. But where? So here, oh, JBB 28 taking a bullet. This is not going to be good for him. As he moves up even further and in towards the area that the Russians have decided to turn and fight. The 45th hiding behind one stone. Oh, this could get very, very messy very quickly. As the 45th break an attack. As attacking from the left-hand side is Suvorov. And you can see Husky in there with a fine stab into into Mr. Frodon. And Husky now trying to support his teammates. Who's this? It's Saxon again with the saber. Let's see if he can repeat it. Oh, look at that block. Oh, he gets in the first slice. Fantastic stuff coming in from Saxon today. Oh, look at that nice slice and another block by Saxon. Fantastic display here from Saxon. The defensive strategy and the fine block work from that saber of his. Doing the damage. And a slice and a dice. And Saxon feels off Audius von Nab. So, the face bloodied with the detritus of the enemy. But he is unbowed. An adjutant Saxon from the 4th Battalion Regiment. Yeah, no, the 45th Regiment. Part of the 4th Brigade. So, and as you can tell, this is the end of the round. 2 Russians remain. And it is Saxon and Florent. And they're up against 6 Frenchmen. So, we wonder, can Saxon survive? He's taken a few hits. He's bloodied but not bowed. And Florent with a sabre as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Are they going to go in with a punch-up? And look at this. They're trying not to get split up. This is the problem. They get split up. It's going to be a 2v1 situation for both the Russians. This is a dangerous situation. Down. Oh, that was nearly a team kill. Oh, down goes Florent. And now it's 4v1. This is the biggest challenge that Saxon will have. Can he force a team kill? He forces 1 team kill. And he's continuing to block there. He's looking for that important moment where he can go in for a slice. And he gets 1 slice. And continues to block. Goes in for another block. And can he get a slice? No! Saxon falls. Killed by Ladislas. What a fine stand by that man. Excellent fighting. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been it for the 4E line battle. I hope you've enjoyed this midweek carnage. And no doubt we'll be back at you with some more Napoleonic Wars goodness and loveliness. Who can forget the stabby goodness that is Napoleonic Wars? We'll see you next time.